Hello everyone, today in this video we'll be discussing the 8th lab program of CG, which is Cohen-Sutherland algorithm. Okay, so in Cohen-Sutherland algorithm what happens is, if I show you the final output, you'll be given with a figure like this. You'll be given with a figure like this, and what you have to do is, the blue line is the clipping line. Okay, the blue line is what? The clipping line. If you crop it like this, what will be displayed is that much only should be shown in the final output. I mean, just this much should be shown in the final output. So how do we do that is, we will be following few steps, like there's one point here, this is another point, there's another point, another point. So what you'll be doing, you'll be finding out its slope, and at this point you're finding out what is the vertex, and at this point also we are finding out what is its vertex. We'll be saving those vertices. Same thing we'll do for this also, and we'll save these both vertices, and after that we'll be using those 4 vertices to draw this line. Okay, so that's what we are going to do in the Cohen-Sutherland algorithm. And one more thing what you need to know before approaching this question is, like, for example, if let's take the same figure here. Okay, so you need to know the codes. Okay, so what are the codes here that you need to know very well. So if I draw it like this, let me change the color. Okay, we'll be drawing like this. Okay, this is what top, this is right, this is left, this is bottom, and this is bottom left, this is bottom right, this is top right, this is top left, and each we are assigning a code. Okay, means I guess the code is tbrl, and it's means if it is the top, we'll be making it as 1, else if it's not the top, we'll make it as 0. For example, consider this point here, this is what top right, right? So if it is top right, at that time top and right will be 1 and these two will be 0. So this code at the point means this area's code, means this whole area's code is what? 1010. Okay, 1010, like that only. If wherever the point is the ending point, what is this area is what? Top left. So top left will be 1001. So this area is 1001. Okay, that's one thing what I wanted to tell. And another thing is, like, for example, if it's inside means it is like 0000. Okay, all the things will be 0. It's neither top nor bottom nor right nor left. Okay, so everything will be 0 inside this screen here. And doing the AND operation, at that time you will get as non-zero value only when you have a line like this. For example, if you have a line like this, okay, if you have a line like this, it's outside the clipping window. This is what? Top left. Top left means brl. Top left means 1001, and this is what? This is left. Left means just left will be 1, others will be 0. If you do the AND operation, it will be 0001. It's non-zero value. Whenever it is a non-zero value when you do the AND operation, that means it's outside. That's one thing you need to keep in mind because of this equation here. Another thing what you need to keep in mind is, if you do the OR operation, and you get the value as 0, at that time what it means is the whole line is inside this. Then only you'll get a 0. Both the points are 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. You do the OR operation, you'll get 0, 0, 0, 0. So it's inside. So if you do the AND operation and you get as non-zero value, it's outside. You have to ignore that line. If you do an OR operation and you get a 0 value, at that time the line is inside. Else if it's not both of these cases, the third case is the line is outside and it's passing through inside, again outside. That's the only case possible, right? So let's these were the basic things what I wanted to tell, the two things. So if you know these things, we can proceed further. So this is the code part. So in the code part, what you can see is we have header files here, we have some variables here. So this is the variable section. After that we have 4 functions, I guess 4 functions. So what are the 4 functions? One is Cohen-Sutherland line clip and draw. This is the main part of the code. We'll be discussing that. And here is the compute out code. We'll come back to this display function, init function, and int main function. So there are totally how many? 5 functions are there. So let's understand the program flow by using the PDF. So in this PDF I have written the flow of the code. How does the flow of the code is in Cohen-Sutherland? Okay, so this is the flow of the code. You have totally how many functions? 5 functions are there. Okay, 5 functions are there. And what are the 5 functions? These are the 5 functions: Cohen-Sutherland, compute code, display, init, and main. Okay, and 80% of the code is very small. Okay, means it's 80% of the code means among the 5 functions, first 4 functions are very simple, and this function is which is the main function, it's a bit lengthy one. Okay, so let's get done with these 4 functions and we'll be just left with one function. So what is in the 4 functions? Main functions, you're doing the initialization things, calling init and display. Are doing the initialization things and calling init and display as usual what you do in the main function. So let's have a look at that. So here is the main function, and what you can see is like you have the init functions and you have the display function call and init function call. So this is what it's happening in the init main function, and after that we have the my init function. My init function also it's the same thing. You just have some initialization functions, that's all what is there in the init and in the display. So see in init, if I show you, you just have this much. Okay, you have some initialization things here. Okay, that's what is there in the init, and after that the next function is the display function. In display function, what we are trying to do is we are drawing 2 lines within a 2D plane. If you want to draw 2 lines within a 2D plane, at that time what you have to do, first you have to draw a plane, then you have to draw 2 lines, and yeah, that's all. You have to draw a plane and then you have to draw 2 lines. 2 functions are there to draw a plane and draw 2 lines. Okay, those 2 functions you have to perform. So to draw a plane, what you need is the endpoints, right? X min, y min, this is x min, y max, x max, y max, x min, y max. These are the 4 points you need. You can GL begin, GL end, point, 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 and by polygon you can make this thing here. And after that you need to draw these 2 lines. So mention this point, GL begin line, end line, these 2 points, GL begin line, end line. That's what we are doing in display function. After drawing the plane and the lines, then we'll call Cohen-Sutherland, passing the first 2 lines, first 2 points for the first line and second 2 points for the second line. Okay, that's what we are passing in the Cohen-Sutherland after doing this one. That's all what is there in the display function. If I show you the code, see here in the code what we are doing is, first we are getting x naught, y naught, the first point and the second point. To draw a line, first point we need and second point we need, that we are taking. After that we are setting colors and all, and in this part we are doing the GL vertex 2D. So it is drawing 2 lines here. So still the plane is not drawn, so plane will be drawn after drawing the lines. Here x min, y min, x y max, y min, x max, y max, and x min, y max. So this will draw rectangle, and here we'll have the lines which is already drawn. Okay, so here is the lines which are already drawn for the first line, this is the second line. Okay, so after that is done, we'll be calling the Cohen-Sutherland line clip and draw. We'll be passing the 2 points for the first line and 2 points for the second line. Okay, that's all what is there in the display function. So 3 functions are over, the void main function and the init function and the display function. Let's move on to the 4th one, which is outcode. So let's understand what is outcode. Okay, so outcode is just, it's taking 2 values, x coordinate, y coordinate. So it's just taking a point and we are finding out if that point is top, bottom, or right or left. Just that check is being made here. Okay, for the y, is it top or bottom? For the x, is it right or left? Okay, so that's all what the thing is in the outcode. So outcode will find out what is the code for it, means the code I discussed, right? TBRL, what is the code for it, that will be checked. Okay, so firstly it will be 0. If y is greater than y max, then it is top. If it is less than y min, it is bottom. If x is greater than x max, it is right. If it is less than x min, it is left. Okay, that's all. You are just setting which all should be 1 and which all should be 0. Okay, because if you have like 0 0 0 0 and it's top means 1 0 0 0, if you do the OR operation, it will become 1 0 0 0 without repeating the other codes here. Okay, so that was about the compute code. Now we are done with 4 functions. Among the 5 functions, 80% of the code is over. Let's move on to the main part, which is the Cohen-Sutherland line clip and draw. So let's have a look at what it does and how's the code flow. So in Cohen-Sutherland, if you see the top overview, what is in the Cohen-Sutherland is just 2 things: do loop and if condition. Do while loop and if condition. Only 2 things are there. What are the 2 things? Do while and if condition. That's all. Do while and if condition is there in Cohen-Sutherland. If you write the do while loop and if condition, the program is over. So let's see what is in the do while and what is in the if condition. So if I show you the code in the do while and the if condition, So the Cohen-Sutherland line starts from here. It's accepting the arguments x0 y0 x1 y1. Okay, x0 y0 x1 y1. Then what we are doing is we are calculating the outcode 0, outcode 1 and outcode out. So what is outcode 0, what is outcode 1? We are passing 2 points, right, x0 y0 and x1 y1. At this point, what is the code? That is outcode 0. At this point, what is the code? That is outcode 1. And among these two, which is the one which is not 0? Which one is not 0? That is the outcode out. So get to know in more detail when we go in the means further part of the program. So here are two variables we are using, accept and done. So why are we using these two variables? Let's find out. We are calculating the outcode 0, outcode 1 by passing the x0 y0 and x1 y1 the function compute outcode. We will have outcode 0 and outcode 1. So the do while loop starts from here and it ends here. Okay, it's just a bunch of if else conditions. If you understand very carefully what does that if else conditions do, you can easily write the code. Many of the code is redundant code. Okay, so it's very easy. Then we have the if condition here. Okay, so if condition also does something, so I'll explain you what it does. Okay, so the brief overview I'm telling, the Cohen-Sutherland line clip and draw, it's accepting 4 arguments x0 y0 and x1 y1. After that it's doing two things, which is the do while loop and the if else condition. Okay, sorry, only if condition. Okay, let's have a look at what does the do while loop do. Okay, in the do while loop we have calculated the x0 y0 means outcode 0 outcode 1, and it's using two variables, accept and done. What does accept and done mean? Done means that the operation is done. Means, for example, if I have a line here and I found out these points, that means it's done. For this line the operation is done. Accept means if this line is here and I have found out this, means it's accepted. Means if another line is here, I have not accepted, means it's done. Done means this is outside the clipping window. I know that I have to throw it into the trash, right? I know I have to throw it into the trash. So I have done. Done means operation is done. Means I have decided what to do with that. Done means the decision is made. Done means the decision is made. Accept means you have accepted that line or rejected that line. Suppose that you go to the interview. Okay, so an interview is done or not, that's the first question. You are accepted or not, that's the second question. In the same way, the plane is the interviewer and the lines are the persons who are going to the interview. Whether the interview of these lines is done, yes, they are done. Either it can be outside or it can be inside. Either it can be rejected or accepted. In that way you have to remember. Only two variables are used in Cohen-Sutherland algorithm, done and accepted. Done means the operation is done on line. Accepted or rejected means you have accepted the line if it is passing through the plane. You have rejected the line if the whole line is passing outside the plane. Okay, that's all what the two variables are used for. Okay, now let's see what's further. Then here we are performing a bunch of if else conditions. So let's see what is the overview of just do while loop. We have seen the overview of Cohen-Sutherland algorithm. In that we have seen the overview of the starting part. Now let's see what is the overview inside the do while loop. Inside the do while loop you can see here the first line is the if condition, then else if condition, then else condition. Let's see, is there anything after else condition stops? No. After the else condition stops, it will check the while condition and iterate it again. Okay, so only if else and if else if and else, three things are getting checked. Now let's have a look what are those three things which are getting checked. Okay, so if else condition checks if the line is totally inside, means like this, or totally outside. Totally outside means like this. If this is the plane, this line is totally inside, this line is totally outside. The first two if conditions check if the line is totally inside or the line is totally outside. Let's have a look how it is in code. So the first two if conditions, the first if condition is not of outcode 0 or outcode 1. See, suppose that the line is totally inside. At that time the both values will be 0 and this OR operation will also be 0. So not of 0 will be what? True, right? So if it is true, that means accepted. Accept means the line is accepted, it's true. Done means the operation is done, it's true. Means it's over, I have accepted the line, nothing is there to clip, right? If it is the other case like outcode 0 and outcode 1, okay, what does this mean? When will this become true? This will become true if both are non-zero. If both are non-zero and its AND operation is also non-zero, at that time done will be true, but accepted will not be true. Accepted will be false only. We have initialized accepted as false and it is false only. Why accepted is false? Because I already told you, if two are non-zero, okay, if this is the line, if two are non-zero, if this is the line here, this is the clipping window, okay, this is the clipping window and this is the line which is present here. It's outside the clipping line, it should be rejected. What is the code of this? TBRL, it's top left. So TBRL means 1001 and this part means bottom left. Bottom left means 0101. So if you do the AND operation between these two, what you will get is 0001. This is non-zero value. When you get a non-zero value, at that time what you have to do is you have to reject it. So to reject it, done is true means the interview is done or the operation is done, and accepted is false means it will be rejected. That's all. Okay, so the first two conditions check. If the line is totally inside, accept it. If the line is totally outside, rejected. Else if it's not the case, what can be the case is, it is outside but it is passing through inside and again going outside. That's the only case possible, right? So if this is the case, we'll be cutting it. So here is outcode 0, here is outcode 1. Remember, here is outcode 0, here is outcode 1. So let's see what happens next if the if and else condition are not true. If the if and else condition are not true, in the else part what you have to do is, this line has to be clipped at this point, this line has to be, this point has to be clipped at this point. So we have to bring and clip. While considering a point for bringing, check if it is at the top, bottom, right or left, clip accordingly, left and clip accordingly. What does that mean is, which point I am considering, is it at the top or bottom or right or left? That's what I am considering here. So to know where it is present, what we have to do is, by the code we can check, right? So we are just using that method. So here outcode out is equal to outcode 0. If it is non-zero value, it will be true and this will be selected. If it is zero value, this will become false and this will be selected. So what is non-zero value that we are selecting? For example, non-zero value will be here, which is not present inside this part is non-zero value. If outcode 0 is non-zero, we'll select this part and first clip this one, then it will become 0, then next we'll consider this one and clip it. For example, if the line was like this, okay, it is at this point here and it is at this point, outcode 0 will be checked, it is 0, so what will happen, this will become false. If this become false, what will be selected? Outcode 1, means this has to be clipped, so this will be clipped till this point here. If this is non-zero, if for example the second one is 0 and the first one is non-zero, at that time this one will be selected and clipped and the next one will be not selected, because it's already 0, it will not be selected. Now question might come, what if both are on the same plane? If both are on the same plane, it need not be clipped. This point will, this line will not reach this position at all. Why? Because both are 0 means in the if condition only it will be filtered, right? In the if condition only it will be filtered, it will not come to this line. So if it's coming to this part of code, what does that mean is, one point is outside and other point might be inside or might be outside. If it's outside, we have to perform this line of code 2 times, one for this one for this one. If any one is outside and the other is inside, only one time it has to be performed for the line which is outside, I mean the point which is outside. Okay, so that's the working of it. So in else what happens is, we are doing 4 checks. If the outcode and top will be non-zero, see, if condition will become true when this is non-zero. This can be only non-zero if outcode out is also at the top. Outcode out is also at the top, at that time only it can be non-zero, right? So if it is present at this point, it will be 1000 and this will also be, top will also be 1000. When you do this, it will be 1000, which is non-zero value. Top should be there, either top left, top right, that doesn't matter, but top should be there, then only it will do its part of code. So checking if it is the top, bottom, right or left. Okay, so we have got to know by this line of code, like we are checking if it is at the top, the point is at the top or right or left or bottom. If it is at like top, right, bottom or left, at that time what we are doing is, we are calculating the x point and y point, the point at which it is to be clipped. For example, if it is at the top here and the point where it has to come is at this point, how we are getting this point? By this formula. This formula is there in the theory part, you can go through that. Okay, by using this formula you can find out this point here, that you have to memorize. And y will be y max, these both are there in the theory part. Okay, so you can go through that. So here also the similar formula, just a slight difference are there, you can go through that, what are the differences and how to keep in mind. So I'm not focusing on that, I'm just focusing on what is the logic of this one. Okay, you find out where is the point, top, right, left or bottom. You also find out what is the new points where it is to be clipped. After you have done that, you'll check if outcode was equal to outcode 0 or outcode was equal to outcode 1. So we have done this part, right? If it was outcode 0, if this was true, this will be the case. If this was false, this will be the case. When can it be false? Only when it is inside the plane. Okay, so then only it will be 0 0 0, it will be false, then it will be selected. You're checking if outcode out was this one or this one. Okay, because if it was either of this, then the next one will be taken into consideration, right? So that's what we are doing here. X and y is assigned to this one, x naught y naught, and if output 0 was there, at that time compute code x naught y naught. By these values you have to again call the compute code. Else if it was x1 y1, means if it was outcode 1, we can again call the code x1 y1, so that it will be like, for example, the clip point here, and the next point will be taken into consideration. If it was this case, it was like this, the new point will be here, the old point will be here, this will be taken into consideration for bringing to this point. Okay, that's what the if else condition here does, and you have clipped the points and while not done. So when you have successfully clipped both of the points, what will happen is you will come to this line of code, both will be on inside the plane itself. If even if it is in the boundary, it will be 0 0, here also 0 0, the OR condition will be 0, not of 0 is true, so it will become accepted and done. Then what will happen, it will come out of this loop. While not done means while not true, so this will become false and it will come here. And if accept means the line is accepted, and it will perform this line of code. What does this line of code does is it will find out sx and sy. What is sx and sy? X slope of x and slope of y. We are getting these two slopes and finding out in the viewport what will be the lines. So I have explained this part here. What does that line of code do in the this point? If accept, what it does is it will get the slopes of x and y. Why we need is because, see, this is the original diagram we had, okay, and this is the clipping window. What I need is I need to mark these points. I need these 2 points. Okay, I need not have these 2 points because that is outside the clipping window. So I have to get the corresponding this point and this point. For that, what I will do, I'll calculate the slope and bring this point to here by using that formula, and I'll bring this point to here by using that formula. It's easy, right? If we know the slope and we know these points here, the max and mean values, we can easily find out at what point it's intersecting this line and this line. Same goes for this line and this line, right? So easily we can find out what is the value of v0 and v1. So v0 also has x and y, so v0 x, v0 y, v1 x, v1 y. So those 4 things we are trying to find out in the if accept part. So 4 things: vx0, vy0, vx1, vy1. Okay, so by using this formula you can find out. After that, what we are doing is, after we have found out the points where we have to draw the line, we are making the viewport box, and inside that we are making 2 lines, vx0, vy0, and vx1, vy1. So 2 lines will be made, so not like this, and like this, the clipped points. Okay, so that's all what is the code is. So let's quickly wrap up what is in the code part. So here we have the totally 5 functions. Here is the header files, and I didn't discuss about this part, right? Xmin, ymin, xmax, ymax. What is xmin, ymin and all? This xmin, ymin, this xmax, ymax, the original window. Xvmin and y and yvmin, xvmax, yvmax. What does that mean is the viewports min and max values. Okay, and right is 8, left top bottom 8241. How it is coming 8241? Because what is okay, so they have considered here right as RLTB. Okay, they have to consider like this. So it is 8 means it is 1000, and left is 2. Okay, so 2 is here, RTLB. Okay, they have to consider RTLB. Okay, so 1000, and if it is left, that means it is 0010. If it is top means 0100. If it is bottom means 0001. Okay, RTLB. So those are the codes assigned to find out the code values, if it is top, right, left, or bottom. And then we have defined compute code as means just the function declaration, x and y is getting passed, and outcode is the return type. What is the outcode? It is defined as int. You can also write int directly. Okay, so here we have the totally 5 functions. Let's start from main function. Main function, we have the initialization part, and we are calling 2 functions, display function and init function. In init function, 6 initializations are there, and after that the display function, what it does, it will create the window, it will create the 2 lines. Okay, so this for the 2 lines and this for the window. Call the Cohen-Sutherland with the first line for this for the first line and for the second line. to crop. Okay, next we have the compute outcode. So it is finding out if it's the top, bottom, right or left. So based on that it's doing the operations. After that we have the and that's all. Main function, init, display and compute code. After that Cohen-Sutherland is there. In that only two things are there: do while loop and if condition. In do while loop we are checking three things: if it's totally inside the plane, if it is totally outside the plane, or if it is inside or like this, or both outside and passing through inside. These things we are checking. If this is the case, accept it. If this is the case, just done, accept will be false. And if it's the other case, at that time we will check if it is at the top, bottom, right or left for the both the points, and after that we will check which point was taken into consideration, and we'll again call this function, and this time the next point will be considered. Okay, so like that both the points will be considered at taken inside the plane, means crop points, and that will become true, means this will come out of this loop. We have found the crop points. Next, in the accept part, we are just cropping it further. Like this is the view plane and the crop points are this one and this one. So we are just using the slope values and the view max values, view min values for both x and y to means crop these points to the this line. Okay, so that's what we are doing here for both of these lines. Okay, that's what it's happening here. Vx0 vy0 and vx1 vy1. This vx0 vy0 means this point, and this is vx1 vy1. Okay, and the final output will be as follows. Okay, so this was the input. So this was the input. There were lines here. This was getting this was got cut, and this is the final output. Okay, so this is all what is there in this program, and thank you so much for watching. Make sure you hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.